Hey everybody. You'll have to forgive me, I don't have like a performance queued up for the opening. So I'm just freestyling it. It's because today's Mother's Day and my child was here and my father was here and I was busy doing family things. Let me know if you should be hearing my voice. Let's type that in the chat just to make sure. Let's see. Are we hearing audio / voice? Question mark. Music Smurf says all clear. Tinker Scientist, who I recognize now as Reg. Okay, so we're good. Okay. Andy says yes. Hey, Wookie. Mr. Hopkins, hello. Quattro Bugina. And Marky. And Casual Noises. Hey there. Let's see. Let's put a little thing together. There we go. Let that go for a bit. Let that run. Let it be legitimized. Quattro Pagina uncloaked accidentally. Too funny. Hey, Kenneth. That is the intent. All right, let's change this bass line up. Instead of just a drone, we'll move it on to doing something. Here we go. bus. Greetings. Let's see, Wookie says, are you declaring your not Ableton trainer status for the same reason McDonald's put hot in their coffee mugs? Well, no, I haven't been sued, so no. So, you know, we're just doing it. I mean, we want to be clear. I'm not an authority. I'm just opinionated. Hey, Davey, my Logify. Shenanigans, hey there. My wife and offspring just went out shopping to do a little Mother's Day flower shopping. So I have an hour here to do a little stream. Hope everybody's having a nice Mother's Day. If today is Mother's Day where you are, here in the US. Typically this is the week where all garden centers are overwhelmed because everyone's buying flowers for their mother, and the planting usually happens right about now. This is okay. This is like absolute total improv. Put maybe one more layer in here. I'm not sure which instrument though. Maybe not that one. That's a good sound, but no. We'll put a few sustain chords in here. I'm gonna go check the chat in a second. Hang on. Actually, we'll let that go. We'll do 4 bars in and 4 bars out. Let me add a little reverb to this thing now. Hang on a second, I'm doing this in the DAW. There we go. Overdub a little bit here. There we go. Lay a little lead on this again. Pardon me while I bump the mic. I'm scratching my nose. There we go. Let's turn this back into a little drone. And we will start this one back up, but make it quiet. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing today? Happy Mother's Day. Let's see. Rich says, please continue being opinionated. Okay. The world needs a hero. Hey, greetings. Welcome aboard. I think I saw you in Andy's stream Saturday morning, I believe. So welcome if you're new to the community of this particular peanut gallery. Let's see, who else? If I've missed anyone. So again, if you have any questions or you want to get my attention, please tag me. Put at Synth Seeker at the beginning of the line, or put a whole bunch of capital Q's. That's what I look for if you have questions. What are we going to be doing today? So it's Mother's Day. So I have nothing prepared. I was celebrating my wife's motherness. So what I was going to do is talk about some production. I'm working on an album. We got this bit going. I'm going to load up a piece, one of the pieces that I'm working on. Give you a tip for Ableton for how to... In Ableton, there's a frustrating thing where you can only have one project open at a time. But there are ways to get around that and sort of merge things together. I'm going to demonstrate that for people who may be interested. And then we've already messed with the grid for a bit and done a little jam. But I'm going to share what's the state of one of the pieces I'm working on. It's very short, very small, and show you guys that, and then whatever else we want to talk about till for the next 40 minutes or so. We'll probably end around 3 o'clock my time, so 40 minutes from now is when we'll wrap it up, because by then my wife will be back from shopping with our child, and I'll have to go be a husband, which is fine, so it's all good. Let's see. Scanning the chat here. Music Smurf says, loving it, keep going. Nice. I'm glad you were happy with the jam. Kenneth says, I think music in itself is healing. Oh man, Kenneth has got the heart of a poet. Nice. Oh, or is that a Billy Joel quote? Well, you're quoting a good poet. I'm a Billy Joel fan. Let's see. Oh, you're cooking dinner. Yeah, don't burn the dinner, Shenanigans. That would be bad. That happens a lot. We call our stove, our kitchen range, we refer to it as Old Bernie, because for whatever reason, it takes a long time to heat up, and then when it heats up, it gets hotter than expected. And if you stop paying attention to Old Bernie, even for a moment, whatever you're cooking will in fact be charred. So, Shenanigans, the Relic control surface is a monster. 256 pads. I agree. Talk to Jeff Hopkins, he was here. He said hello at the beginning of the stream. I think he's waiting for his to be delivered. Eddie Booze. Booze? How do you pronounce that? Hi, Eddie. And Liminal. Greetings. Let's see. All right, so we just finished the jam. Let's keep going. Wow, a lot of new people today. Inhibited. Hey there. Hi, nerds. You know who you are. We're all nerds here, man. Let's see. Reg, I'm gonna load another project into this one, just as a demonstration, because this one has all of the streaming stuff hooked up, all the wiring and infrastructure. And so if I go open a new project that doesn't have all this stuff, the mic isn't set up and all that good stuff. So I'll show you how to merge them. Not merge, but you can pull tracks out of one project into another. All right. I think I'm good with the chat. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to flip over. Let's flip the old Camaroo over to Ableton for a minute. If Ableton drives you nuts and you're not a dog eye person and you're just not interested, that's okay. Just take a hike. It's all good. Come back later. We'll probably be jamming again. That's all good. We try and do a bit of everything here. So let's talk about, so in this particular set, so these are the instruments we've got, right? We've got all our bits, our tracks for Bobby and the Corgis, etc. A couple atmosphere things. The piano's being played, the Rick's droning here. And then everything over here past the Fool, that's my microphone. And then there's some drum kits and submix and ducking and all that good stuff. But I would like to load a project. So let's stop the drone for a minute. Hang on one second. We'll go back here. We'll kill my drone. We'll stop the piano from playing. Okay. Now, so when you're looking at your projects, so in Ableton, I've dragged a folder in here and added a folder called Live Projects, and all of my project categories are in here. Okay, so this is the Ableton's Explorer. Very powerful tool. I recommend you learn how to use it if you haven't dug into this. So certainly in Live 12, they rewrote this, and it's a much useful thing now. But I've got an album I'm working on, and that album has projects in it. I've got 14 tracks underway happening here. And I'm just going to focus on this track 2. I've got this song that I'm referring to as Unsafe by the First Hour. That's the name of the song. If you open up the project in the Ableton browser, you can see the project set. And this is this one here. I've actually got 2 of them. This was the sketch that I did on the Ableton Move that I pulled in over here. And then I expanded it into this thing. And if you open up the set, you can see the individual tracks. And when you're looking at the tracks, you can open up and see what devices are here, right? But what I want to do is I want to pull the tracks from this project out, right? And I don't recommend this as a great way of working. Normally, I would just open the project, you know. But since I'm streaming and I want to share this with you guys, what you can do is in Ableton, you can save tracks out, or you can reference the tracks in another set. I've selected them all here, and I'm going to drag them out. And when you drag them out, you get the little, you know, Ghostbusters, no, I'm not going to let you do this. And it's saying, okay, you want to put these on top of the existing tracks? Yes. Well, what I actually want to do is if you go up into the header up here, like I'm going to drop it, you'll see that it switches, the UI switches to the in-between track insertion sort of gray vertical line there. That's saying I want to insert these tracks, and I want to insert them right here as new tracks. And that's what it does. So now I've got all of the existing tracks with, right, all of my instruments, right? But I've also got the ones from the song, right over here. Here we go. And then a drum kit. All right, so these are the tracks and their clips that I've pulled in from this other system. Now, it hasn't done anything like change the tempo, right? So it's still the current project's tempo, but this gets me in, and then I have to fix a little routing because we're streaming. I want all of these tracks to run through my submix bus, not through the main. So that way the mic will duck these. And let me go delete these other. Actually, that was kind of a fun jam. I'm going to save those. I'm just going to drag them down here. We'll just save those over there. Okay. And then I've got these clips. Okay. So there's one. Let me bring this down a little bit. Burp. Right. We got that one and this one. These are just MIDI clips, right? So let's listen to this. It's probably going to sound like ass because it's at the wrong tempo. Let's turn the tempo up. It's around 118. Let's listen to one of these. All right, so we're in production space. So what's going to happen here is everything's going to sound bad. So hold on a minute. Let's play this. So I've got 2 scenes in this song, scene 1 and scene 2. And the instrumentation that's playing is our bass. A very clean rick. We've also got, even though the label says Nord A1, because that's what I originally sort of was thinking about writing these with. We're using a piano here. That's got sort of space reverb, as well as this kind of like, what is it? A lithophone? Have you ever seen a lithophone? A lithophone's like a marimba made of stone. So this is layering a piano with a lithophone, and then it's got its tails are being phased. So you can hear that. Wow. It's a sound I use a lot, as well as I've got an ARP here. Using that sound, and I've got a little MPE drum kit. If you've got a push 3 and you haven't played with the push 3's inbuilt MPE drum kits, they're super fun to play with. Anyway, let's listen to this. I may have to adjust the tempo. Hang on a second. I'll look at the chat in a minute. I'll get caught up. Let's mix this. So that's scene 1, right? This is really just a song with 2 ideas. I've got that, and then this idea. We'll move to scene 2 here. Anyway, those are the 2 scenes that we're working on. So that's what's happening with this. Now the question is, what else do I want to do with it? I want to add more parts, but I also want to have other layers running. So hang on a second. Let's look at the chat real quick. All right. All right. I wish there was timestamps. Is there any way to get timestamps on the chat? And I know like which ones are things I missed versus things that have just new things that have come in. Oh, well. Let's see. All right, I don't see any tags. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's the sort of one of the tracks that are in progress. So now let's flip back to hands, because let's lay some new instrumentation over top of this and play around with it. There we go. All right. So let's put a little Moog lead on this. Not bad. So this is a subsequent 37. So hey, I'm happy about the Moog Messenger. That's basically, they're going to sell a ton of those because that's like a sub 37 with a couple extra bells and whistles, but also missing a few bells and whistles. And for $900, I think they're going to sell a lot of those. I don't know. Opinions? Anyone have opinions? Oh, no opinions. Okay. Inhibited says, did you know that the bluestones in Stonehenge were once seated in hollows with... Ooh. As they were ringing rocks. Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Interesting. Hey, Steve. How's it going? All right. Everybody's doing greets and hellos and things like that. All right, I don't have to worry about that. So, all right, well, that was that pattern, that scene. Let me look here. Let's switch to the other scene. He says he would like a messenger. Yeah, I kind of would like one too. I just don't have the space for it. So, you know. Let's see. Reg says he'll be home soon from work here in Turkey, and we'll get back to his push 3. That's good. Looking forward to looking at the MPE drums. Yeah, you should. The MPE drums here. Let's talk about those. Let's do a little micro demo of those. So this is the MPE drum kit. Okay. So it's 16, right? Here we'll use the snare as an example. Right, so velocity. Let's turn it up a little bit. Velocity-wise, it's nice, good, like both change in timbre by velocity, but also when we go up and down slide-wise. Oh, that one not so much. How do you? The hat. So here's a closed hat. When I slide up, right, it's a tighter clamp. This is a very, very, very playable kit. I'm a terrible finger drummer. Cymbals. A couple of the kits will move between the bell and the like the edge and the bell. Not this one though. Anyway, the MPE kit's awesome. You should totally check them out if you have a push 3. Let's see. Andy says, when is the plant coming back? You mean the succulent? Here. Succulent? No problem. We can do succulent. Hold on. Let's see. We need a succulent here. How about a zebra plant? Okay, so we'll draw our, right, we'll draw a zebra plant. Looks something like that, right, with little dots along the edges, right, and there'll be a bunch of these spikes coming off, right, and we'll do one like that, and one like that, little dots, we'll color it in, right. There, bad zebra plant. There, we have a succulent now. He has a name, zebra. We'll say Lenny. right? Lenny the succulent. There we go. There we have a succulent now. All good synth streamers, right, must have succulents. All right. Let's see. Fascisario. Hey, welcome. Let's see. We were jamming earlier. Thank you for if you said it sounds good. I hope you heard. I hope you heard some of the jam. We'll go back to it. Let's see. Steve says I like the Messenger, although you coveted a sub 37. The Messenger like provides a great deal of what the sub 37 provides, or the subsequent. I don't have a sub. I have a subsequent. I think people like the anger, the growliness of the sub 37 sometimes more. You can get that out of the subsequent 37, right? Fascisario is asking if anyone knows a good groove box for Windows touchscreen. You should talk to Crazy Wabbit if he's in here. He is totally up on that. Actually, Windows, he's more iOS than Windows. But anyway. Let's see. I'm looking for tags. Hold on. Going through the chat here. Order has been restored. Okay, good. I'm glad you're happy. Let's see. So again, if you have questions, tag me or put a bunch of capital Q's at the beginning, because otherwise I'll miss it. Inhibited says the only Moog I can afford is the Moog lithophone. Well, all right. They won't answer my emails. Sorry, man. Just keep calling, you know. I don't know where their like main office is. Are they still in Asheville? Is a question. So I don't know. What did Steve ask? I didn't realize there were two instruments. The sub 37 is different. Yeah, it is actually. Here, we'll do this. Yeah, the sub 37 and the subsequent 37 are two different synths. And there's actually another variant of the 37 of the subsequent called the subsequent 37 CV, which I think you can also get the control voltage functionality as an add-on for the subsequent 37. But this is a subsequent 37. And the oscillator section looks a whole lot like what's on the Messenger. It's two oscillators with a sub oscillator. The subsequent and the sub 37 do not have any wavefolding in them, which the Messenger does, and I like wavefolders, so that's a draw for me. I think the subsequent, I'm just going to call it subs. So then it's both. The difference between the sub 37 and the subsequent 37, Steve, is the gain staging of the mixer, I believe. There may be other differences, but the sub 37 is really growly, and it has a difficult time, believe it or not, doing clean sounds. So if you just want like a high pulse width modulated square, like real clean 1970s kind of lead sound, the sub 37 I think it can do it, but some people complain and say it's too there's some overdrive in the gain staging of the mixer and the filter. And so the subsequent 37 that came out afterwards has way more headroom in it. So when you're operating the mixer dials, right, they go from about 8 o'clock on the dial or 7 o'clock on the dial to like 5 o'clock on the dial. If you take it past noon, things will overdrive. But if you keep it less than noon, things are super clean. That's the main difference between them that I'm aware of. I don't know. I've never owned a sub. I always had a subsequent. And that's what we're listening to. All the reverb is being provided by Valhalla. Anyway, so yeah, that's the way it is. It goes to 11. Yeah, actually, we can play with it for a minute here. Let's see. Let me chill out the. Let's chill out the delay and reverb here. There it is. All right, so let's do this. Let's turn the. We'll turn the mixers down. So here's nice tame. Let's do, what is this? I think this is, so it's a variable wave oscillator. So let's turn off everything but oscillator 1, and you can hear one oscillator. Right. Oscillator 1. The LFO is very slightly opening and closing the filter. Right. So we can turn the wave shape through the shapes. Square out to pulse. Right, and it'll even close down. Actually, I think that's what's going on, is we're actually oscillating the wave shape. Hold on a second. Let me turn the mod amount down. There we go. And we're still getting a little bit. Is that the filter? No, hang on. EG mount, keyboard track. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but hang on a second. Is it? Yeah, it's oscillator 2. Pitch amount, filter amount, mod amount. And don't go to OS1 wave, go to, there we go. Okay, so there's a wave, right? If we go through our wave shapes, so it goes from triangle to saw to square to pulse. And this is the clean sort of, clean, I'll leave it on sawtooth for now, the clean mixer settings. But if I turn it up, with one oscillator, it's not so bad, but when I bring in a second one, it starts getting hairy. You get some pleasant, we'll say, overdrive there. And then right, and then you can add a sub. And then you can overdrive it too. It gets really hairy. Right, so if we put our reverb and delay back on, la la la. Right, you can really, it gets real shreddy. I like it a lot. Anyway, but the point is the sub 37 sounds like that, like for the most part, and has a difficult time doing the cleaner sounds, while the subsequent has more headroom, and so can do cleaner stuff. Now the Messenger is basically a very similar architecture to the sub stuff, for like half the cost. So I'm interested in the Messenger, right? All right, put this back where I found it. Can you do the feedback trick too? The feedback trick meaning take the headphone out and put it back into the external input. Yes, you can, but it's actually available already on the mixer. It's already like looped in and normalized. So yeah, you can, but you can do it again even more if you want. Yes, Biscuit, you can. Internally, you can do it internally as well. There's a knob on the mixer that's literally external in / feedback. Just like on the Mini Moogs now, the newer Mini Moogs have a dedicated routing internally. You don't have to actually run the headphone output into the input anymore. So yeah, it works. Oh, goddamn, what is that? So I just stuck my hand in my pocket and stabbed myself on a piece of gardening wire. Ow. Am I bleeding? No. Okay. Lenny, I was working with the plants this morning, and we have 2 baby trees out in the yard. And so I was putting wire fencing up around them because last year we had 2 baby trees And somebody, I'm not going to name names, but somebody took the weed trimmer, the weed whacker, kind of the spinning thing, and got too close to the baby trees and stripped all of the bark off the lower 6 inches of them, and they promptly died. So this year with our baby trees, we have an armor enclosing cage around them now so that certain people with weed trimmers do not kill our baby trees. Anyway, so I was working on that this morning and managed to stab myself with a piece of wire I still had in my pocket. Oh, well. Say la vie. Let's see. Scanning back. No questions. Cool. All right. Oh, wait. Biscuit says, what does it sound like with every feedback turned up on full? It just sounds like a distorted synth. I don't know. I haven't messed with it, and that's not something that really appeals to me, Biscuit. So I would encourage you to go to your local, go to Tolman. If you can get over there, if you're in that space, go to your local dealer and give it a try. When I want that kind of sound, generally I'll just connect a distortion pedal to the synthesizer, right? So I think there's a video short on the channel of me hooking up the Sub 37 through a Behringer Super Fuzz. And that was fun. That sounded awesome. Let's see. Actually, I don't think I've got, hold on. Let's see. Here. I think I've got a preset on here of a distorted bass. Hold on. I want this bank, that patch. Oh, I got to turn the reverb off. Hold on a second. All right, more distortion. I hope that serves well, Biscuit. Okay, so hold on a second. Let's see. I might have another one in here. Hold on. Going through my presets. I'll say this about the subsequent. The presets are mine. Had it long enough. There we go. There's some rumble for you. So I hope that worked. All right, you like this stuff? You like distortion and rumble? All right, that's cool. I'm glad. All right, going back. This is the other lead. This is a lead we used a lot in January. So let's go back to our bit we were doing. Too fast. Slow down. we're dicking around at this point. Shreddage is a good library if you like the guitar samples. Let's see. Reg says there's so much great stuff and how-tos on Berlin School on the channel. You decide to go back to basics and work your way through them all using stock Ableton synths. I mean, you can use whatever synths you want, Reg. I mean, you don't have to use stock Ableton. The price is right. If you've paid for Ableton, you can get pretty much what you want out of the stock synths. But use whatever you like. What key am I in? I don't know. What am I in? I'm in C Dorian, Steve. C Dorian. Right, so minor on the bottom, major on the top. But thank you, Reg. I mean, you can go through. So if you want to do Berlin School kind of like fundamentals, there is a playlist that has 4 videos in it, and it's called like Berlin School Essentials or Berlin School Basics. It says like start here. Just do those, right? That'll get you the core of how I do Berlin School. It's not always. I mean, there are lots of ways to do it. But and then there's another sort of tutorials channel, which is like everything else. Every other tutorial I've ever done on anything is in there, and some of them are a little out of date, so I need to go back. Like some they go back to like Ableton 9, some of them, or Max for Live. I think I've got some videos of them not even using a push. I think I've got some videos in there of me using a mono. So I mean it varies. Because Shenanigans says it has a Tori Amos vibe to it. Thank you. That's high praise. I like Tori Amos. You were jamming along. So the nature of people jamming with a stream is something I personally I don't do. You're welcome to, but I kind of schizophrenic. I start and stop things a lot. I know like Symptoms of Reality, and certainly Andy, right? Andy's always got something going for his thing, and there's a whole culture around of people who jam with the jam stream, right? Jeff Hopkins does that too. Sorry, I'm going to start and stop a lot if that's annoying. I apologize. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see, 254. I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up just because I'm trying to be a good husband. Steve says it's not a problem, but when you're playing, you happen to have your synth on. Oh, that's fine. Go for it. So it's all good. Let's see. What are we going to do next week? So next week, I'm going to probably pick another one of the production things. I'm leaning back into getting the frickin' album done because I sort of got distracted over the last 8 weeks between certain video games that shall remain nameless, certain people who got me hooked to them. I'm not going to name anyone other than Joe. Your fault. I really want to sort of get going. So, because I've got these 14 tracks in various places where they're not quite done, and I would like to finish them. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that's about it. Feel free to run along. I'm going to restart the jam that we had running at the beginning of this stream and play along with it a little bit. Let's do that. Here we go. Thanks, Reg. Here's you know what? In the last 60 seconds here, we're at this low tempo. What are we? About 91 BPM. And I've still got the clips from the other track. I'm going to start them, even though it's this crazy low BPM. See what happens. Kind of works. I bet I can do a happy medium. Let's turn it up just a little bit. We'll turn it about 100 BPM. 101. Do. So thank you everybody for hanging out. If you're still here or not, I think everybody probably ran away. It's all good. That is the end of the stream. I will talk to you all next Sunday. And those of you who I see online, I will see you online. All right. Have a great Mother's Day. Have a great rest of your week. Whatever is coming up for you. I hope it's good. And that'll do. All right. I will talk to you all later. I'm going to kill the stream here. Huzzah. Be good, be kind, all that good stuff. Later.